Storm fans, welcome to a special edition of the Storm Report. Jason Tirotta along with head football coach Mark McNellie as part of LakeErieStorm.com's special National Signing Day coverage. And coach, before we get into who makes up the members of the Storm recruiting class for this year, let's talk a little bit about the recruiting process. Each year is a little bit different as you've gone through the first couple of years building the program. And this year you were faced with the challenge of actually having to go in and replace bodies with a large graduated senior class. Talk to us a little bit about how you and your staff attacked this off-season recruiting period.
I don't know we changed a whole lot. We do what we do. We're trying to go out there and find people that are a good fit for Lake Erie College. We brought a record number of guys to campus trying to sort out to find the ones that were the best fit for us. We are young enough as a program where we had to address some needs, but we're still trying to address the best possible athletes available.
Some of those guys we'll talk about are guys who are very versatile, can play a lot of different positions. Was that something that you wanted to really target in this class, guys who can move around on the field, play a couple of different spots?
I don't know that was our plan going in, but we really struck a gold mine there with some guys that have played a number of positions well. I think the more versatility they have, obviously the more it can help in the fall with the limited travel size and those type of things. But I think we found some great athletes that just fortunately have experience playing in a number of positions. But I don't know that was our intent, but we really stumbled upon what we think is our best recruiting class ever. We think it's deep. We think it's very, very skilled. We turned away some guys that in the past would have been, guys that would have been on the top of our list. We're very excited about how it turned out. 17 members in this year's class. The offensive side of the ball, it all starts in the Storm's offense at the quarterback position. And, for the first time now in 4 years, we won't have Sean Bedevelski back there taking the snaps. So it's very important that you bring in a couple of quality guys at that position. We've done that with 2 players here in this class. Yeah, we brought in 2 quarterbacks. We went out initially looking for one and stumbled upon 2 guys that we think are a great fit for what we do. Tyler Eden from University of School and John Banyas from over at Columbia Station, both big, fast, athletic guys that can run, throw, have the whole complete package. So we're definitely excited about where they fit into our mix right now. How important is it when your staff is out recruiting and looking at quarterbacks, and Coach Hazard on the offensive side specifically, that they play in a system very similar to ours? It's not entirely important. We're looking for the best possible quarterback, but it certainly helps when a guy's been in the shotgun and done similar things to what we do. A guy that's been, trained to hand the ball off to a tailback 45 times a game, probably not going to fit really well into our system, although we could, if that guy was a great one, we would take him. But these 2 guys have experience running very similar things, have shown the ability to do very similar things, so I think it's certainly a lot easier transition for them. Was there one trait in each that kind of stuck out and said, hey, that's our guy? I wouldn't say that it's one trait. I would say that they're skilled. They're a guy that's a threat when the ball's in their hand. They can throw it, they can run it. They break down defenses. They're both really good quarterbacks for what they do. They both have great size, so we're excited to bring a couple quarterbacks with a little more stature to the program. And not to say it take anything away from the guys that are here, but we think now we have a complete group of quarterbacks to compete for that opening when Sean walks across for graduation. In the shotgun, in the offense, right next to the quarterback, the tailback spot. And we saw how important last year depth is at that position when Cam Alexander went down with his thumb injury. Rod Smith, the true freshman, came in and stepped in and played very well down the line. So building depth and having a lot of quality running backs is very key and very crucial. And the Storm brings out a couple more on board this year. Yeah, we brought in 3. All of them are a little bit different. Drew Irvin's a big back, powerful back, a guy that runs his own play, and if there's a hole there, he's going to find it. If there's not a hole, he'll make a hole. I think he'd be different than the backs we've had probably since Tony Howard's graduation. The other back is Anthony Bilal, who's a local product from Riverside. More of a scat back, unbelievable quickness, great vision. I think we'll do a great job of hiding behind our big lineman, finding that spot and busting it through it. Also very, very good in the return game. And then Evan Adams from over at North Railton, does it out of the backfield as a receiver, carries the ball well. Brings the whole package. So you've got 3 guys with all different strengths, but all very capable of filling in at that running back spot. And as we talked about the wing spread offense, the wings are a very, very important part of what we do as a team. And quite a few guys who can kind of come in there and fill that role that Dave Romeo was so successful at the past few years. Yeah, at the wing spot, we've got a number of guys. The guys that we've listed as athletes, I mean, Zaid Whitley and C.J. Pinkston are both guys that have lined up and played the wing spot before. But Richard Graves, Matt Romanello, and Arturo Morgan also are guys that we feel like could slide in there and play. All of them bring different things to the table as far as size, speed, ball skills. They're all different mix, but they all are very, very good. I think when you are able to look at their highlights on our website there, I think you're going to see some very, very talented guys with the ball in their hands. And that's what we do with our wings. We create ways to get the ball in their hands in space. We hand it to them, we toss it to them, we throw it to them. So these guys will all be very, very successful with the ball in their hands.
Losing a couple of wide receivers to graduation, so obviously an area that you want to build depth with a lot of young players at that spot still in the program, but Dan Cunningham, a local kid from Holy Name, is a guy who's going to be signed with the Storm.
Yeah, Dan is a guy that we had our eye on from the beginning. He's long. He has a little bit of a Brandon James type body. His highlight film has him returning multiple kickoffs for a touchdown, over the top of coverage all the time, seems to be behind people all the time. Came to campus and had just a phenomenal workout, knocked our socks off with his 20 time. Just did a lot of great things. We think a guy that's physically mature enough to hopefully have a shot to come in and compete right away. Hopefully good with a guy who's, that Brandon James type guy that can go up and take the ball away from the smaller corner. Blocker, he's got the whole package as a wide receiver. We're excited about him.
And it all starts, as coaches are often fond of saying, up front. So, it's always key to get a couple of members of that offensive line to continue to build the depth up there. And the Storm brings on 2 on board this year. Yeah, we bring on 2 that we think are pretty special. Amati Patrick from Maple Heights High School is a center, has played some tackle, was I'm sure a statewide wrestler, maybe even nationally ranked wrestler. His film is unreal. He'll be playing center, reaching a 3 technique, turning him back and pancaking him towards the line of scrimmage. Unbelievable feat for an offensive lineman, great strength. Eventually going to be a very, very big person. Right now a little bit down because of the wrestling, but we think he's a guy that has just unbelievable potential. The other guy, Tom Johnson out of Indiana, big, 6'4", 6'5", monster, masher, mauler, on his film, multiple pancakes, just physically imposing. Has only played 2 years of football, I think, is only beginning to scratch the surface of where he can get to. A year down the road, as an all-GLIAC type lineman, just with some experience and some weight room, he's going to be awfully good. And switching over now to the defensive side of the ball, and as our experience of the first couple of years in the GLIAC, you need a lot of speed on defense, a lot of great passing attacks in the conference. So very heavy this class in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, a couple of guys I mentioned at the wing position can also flop over and play DB, but we took 3 guys in Brandon Davis, Xavier Dowdell, and Tyson McNellie that are all capable of playing corner or safety, physical, rangy, great ball skills. With what we're doing now defensively, we think they fit in, give us immediate depth at the position. Again, all 3 great workout guys that come from good programs. Hopefully give us some added depth and some guys that might possibly be able to step in right away in the secondary.
Last season, a couple of guys that immediately come to mind, Kyle Hurth, Chris Williams, Tanner Wells, Andrew Schickler, guys who came in with a part of that first-year recruiting class and came in and played right away as true freshmen. Is that something that you like to see from each class, is a couple of guys who can step in and right away? And are there a couple of guys in this class who you expect might see some time here right away?
Well, I tell all the recruits I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't tell them what's going to happen next August. But I can tell you, based on the recruiting film that we've watched on these guys in the workouts, if they spend their off-season working as hard as they are capable of working, these guys can come in and play, or at least be a factor right away. We think all these guys are players that have the capability. It's a matter of how hard they work. We're really, really excited about the overall class.
All right, Coach Mark McNellie, that is the Storm's 2012 National Signing Day recruiting class. Thanks for joining us here on LakeErieStorm.com. You can check out more information, including individual highlight films from each of the Storm's 17 signees right here on LakeErieStorm.com.